All right, question one here. All right, question one, I have to graph the inequality. I have x plus 3y is less than or equal to 6. When y is not by itself, I like to find the intercept. So I want to first find the intercepts here. So to find the x-intercept, make y equal 0. So x plus 3 times 0 is equal to 6. That goes away. So the x-intercept is equal to 6. Now to find the y-intercept, I make x equals 0. So 0 plus 3y equals 6. Divide by 3, divide by 3. The y-intercept is equal to 2. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to plot these points, on a graph. Make a graph here. My x-intercept is 6, 4, 5, 6. There's my x-intercept. My y-intercept is 2. Now I'm going to pick a point that's not on there. And by the way, this is going to be solid. Solid because it's equal to, so it's solid. I'll put that up here. So it's solid. And now I need to pick a point. So I'm going to pick 0, 0 and see if it works. Okay. So 0 plus 3 times 0, is that less than or equal to 6? 0 plus 0, 0 less than or equal to 6. That's true. So I'm going to shade towards 0, 0. And so this would be my answer. So let's see if I could do this well on here. My x-intercept is 6. So my x-intercept is 6. Let's see if I can put a point there. Oh, x-intercept is 6. My y-intercept is 2. And then I'm going to do fill, and I'm going to shade below. All right, so let's see if that works. All right, I got careful there about putting in my points there. All right, 4x minus y is greater than 8. So I'm going to find the intercepts. So to find the x-intercept, make y equal 0. So 4x minus 0 is equal to 8. That goes away. Divide by 4, divide by 4. The x-intercept is equal to 2. Now to find the y-intercept, make x equal 0. So 4 times 0 minus y is equal to 8. That goes away. So I divide by -1, divide by -1. The y-intercept is equal to -8. Okay, so I'm going to graph this. This one's going to be dashed because there's no equal to there. So I'm going to graph this. Y-intercept's -8, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. My x-intercept's 2. It's going to be dashed. So I'm going to pick 0, 0. You could pick any point you want that's not on the line, but I'm going to pick 0, 0 because it's the easiest one to work with. So 4 times 0 minus 0, is that greater than 8? Is 0 greater than 8? That's false. So if it's false, I shade away from 0, 0. And so that should be my answer. So let's flip to enlarge the graph. We'll do a line tool. And I'm going to do dashed. So the y-intercept's -8. The x-intercept is 2. And I'm going to fill away from here. Okay. All right, let's look at 3. So 3, I have y is greater than 5x plus 3. So I'm going to do slope-intercept on this one. So I'm going to do slope-intercept because it's y is by itself. So the y-intercept is equal to 3. The slope is equal to 5, or 5 over 1. Okay, so I'm going to graph this, and it's going to be dashed. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. So y-intercept of 3, then you go up 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, over 1, and it's going to be dashed. Okay, I'm going to pick a point. I'm going to pick 0, 0. So it's 0 greater than 5 times 0 plus 3. Is 0 greater than 3? That's false. So I shade away from 0, 0. And that's my answer. So I have a y-intercept. Click on the graph. A line dashed. A y-intercept of 3. And you go up 5 over 1. And then you shade away from 0, 0. Check your answer. Good job. To myself, I guess. Gotta give myself the affirmation this morning. Y is greater than or equal to 1/3 x. So on this one, I'm going to do slope intercept. Okay. And this one is a solid. So my y-intercept is 0 this time. My slope is 1/3. So the y-intercept 0. You rise 1, run 3, and it's solid. So now I'm going to pick a point not on this line. I'm going to pick 1, 1 here. So I'm going to pick 1, 1. So it's 1 greater than or equal to 1/3 times 1. Is 1 greater than or equal to 1/3? Whoops, 1/3. That's true. So I'm going to shade towards 1, 1. I can't pick 0, 0 because 0, 0 is on the graph here. So I'm going to click on the graph, line, dashed, 0, 0, 1, 3, fill above, and then should be good. Whoops. Oh, it's a solid one. My bad. I apologize. Let me edit line tool. I apologize about that. I was just being careless. Jeez, that's embarrassing. 5's not bad. X is less than or equal to -3, but this is setting up for whenever you have to do problems like tomorrow. So what you're going to do here is you're going to go to -3 on the X, and it's going to be an up and down line. It's going to be solid. So this is going to be solid, and this is a vertical line. This is a vertical line when X is up, once X equals, or X is involved. And less than, where is it less than 3? At -4 or -2. So it's less than to the left. So less than to the left. So I'm going to shade there. And so I'll have, click on here. I go to -3, line, -3. And I'll just pick another point there. This time it's solid. And then I fill to the left. Okay. 6 is y is greater than 3. All right, so this one's going to be dashed. And this one's going to be horizontal. This is going to be a horizontal line. Y equals its horizontal line. So I'm going to go here, 1, 2, 3. And so it's going to be dashed horizontal line at y equals 3. And where am I greater than 3? 4 or 2? So greater than is above. So greater than will be above. So I'll do y 3 line dashed 3, and it's going to be shaded filled above. Okay, this is setting up kind of for where we're going to head tomorrow. 7, I've got x squared plus y squared is greater than 64. Okay, let me try to sketch this out a little bit. Okay, This is a circle. And to circle, the radius would be the square root of 64, which is 8. So the radius is going to be 8. So it's going to be a circle with a radius of 8. I'm going to do this kind of white trash here. -8, -8, 8, and 8. And so I'm going to do a circle here. So radius of 8, okay? Now, I'm going to plug in a point. I'm going to plug in 0, 0. And I'm going to see if 0, 0 makes this true. Is 0 squared plus 0 squared greater than 64? Is 0 greater than 64? That's false, so I'm going to shade on the outsides. So I'm going to shade on the opposite part of the. So to be this. So the answer here will be a radius of 8 shaded on the outsides, and it is dashed. I apologize about that. It is dashed. So let me do this again. I was going too fast there. It's going to be dashed. So a dashed. Okay. It's dashed, and so it's going to be the dashed shade on the outside. So that'd be A. Number 8, now we're going to do systems here. So 4x plus 8y is less than or equal to 8. 2x plus y is less than or equal to 4. Okay, so I could graph these separately here. I'm going to start with the first one and do the intercept method to find the x-intercept, make y equal 0. So 4x plus 8 times 0 is equal to 8. By 4 divided by 4. The x-intercept is 2. Now to find the y-intercept, make x equal 0. So 4 times 0 plus 8y is equal to 8. And by 8, the y-intercept is equal to 1. Okay. Let me do the next one, and I'll plot these graphs together. So there's this is for the. This goes with that one. Let's go to the next one. So to find the x-intercept, make y equal 0. So 2x plus 0 is equal to 4. The x-intercept equal to 2. Now to find the y-intercept, make x equal 0. So 2 times 0 plus y is equal to 4. So the y-intercept is equal to 4. Okay, and so this goes with that. So now we're going to plot our points, or plot our graphs. See what we're working with. We have the first one as an x-intercept, and they're both solid. So they're solid. First one has an x-intercept of 2 and a y-intercept of 1. And solid. Okay, and I'll pick a point here in a moment. The next one, let's go ahead and pick a point for that right now. So I'm going to pick 0, 0. So pick 0, 0. It's 4 times 0 plus 8 times 0. Is that less than or equal to 8? Is 8 less than or equal to 8? That's true. So I'm going to shade towards 0, 0 for the first one. Now for the next one, let's go to, we've got a x-intercept of 2. So the same x-intercept. A y-intercept of 4. So 2, 3, 4. It's solid, so we'll go there. And let's see where this one's shaded. So I'll pick 0, 0. So 2 times 0 plus 0, is that less than or equal to 4? Is 0 less than or equal to 4? That's true. So I shade below. So where does the shading overlap at? You see it's below this one and below this one, so it's going to overlap in this region right here. Now let's see how we graph this on the grid here. Okay, so let's look at this. So my first one has, let me click on the graph. It has an x-intercept of 2 and a y-intercept line. X-intercept of 2, y-intercept of 1, and the fill, and then the next one has another line, has an x-intercept of 2 and a y-intercept of 4. And its fill, whoops, let me delete there. Sorry, let's delete that. Cancel. I don't know if this is going to work because I filled it. It's underneath there. Okay, they're going to want, okay, I know what they're going to want here. Let's clear this out. Okay, so I apologize there. So an x-intercept of 2, because the true answer is wherever they're both shaded. And then fills underneath, and then the next one's got a x-intercept of 2, y-intercept of 4, and the fill will be down in this area right there. Okay, I apologize about that, just seeing how they format it. Okay, here we go. Let's look at number 9. You've got 2x minus 3y is less than or equal to 6, and 2x minus 2y is greater than 4. Okay, so let's go do this algebraically first. So to find the x-intercept, make y equal 0. So 2x minus 3 times 0 is equal to 6. And by the way, this one's solid. This one's dashed. Make sure I remember that. So 2x equals 6 divided by 2. The x-intercept is equal to 3. Okay, sorry about that. Now to find the y-intercept, make x equal 0. So 2x, or 2 times 0 minus 3y is equal to 6. Divided by negative 3, divided by negative 3. The y-intercept is equal to negative 2. Okay. Up next, you could pick a point for that. Well, I'll graph it, but 0, 0 is not going to be on there. I'll graph it and then pick a point. I'll do like I did last time. Okay, let's go to the next one. So this right here goes to the top one. So I'm going to do x-intercept, y equals 0. So 2 times x minus 2 times 0 is greater than 4. So divide by 2, divide by 2. The x-intercept is equal to 2. Find the y-intercept, make x equal 0. So 2 times 0 minus 2y is equal to 4. Divided by negative 2, y-intercepts, negative 2. So now we're going to plot these and graph these. So the x-intercept is 3. Y-intercept's negative 2. And this first one's solid. Okay, let's pick a point here. So I'm going to pick 0, 0. So 2 times 0 minus 3 times 0, is that less than or equal to 6? Is 0 less than or equal to 6? That's true. So I shade towards 0, 0. Now let's look at the next one. The x-intercept's 2. The y-intercept's negative 2, and it's dashed. This one's dashed here. So I'm going to pick 0, 0 again. So is 2 times 0 minus 2 times 0 greater than 4? Is 0 greater than 4? That's false. 0 is not bigger than 4. So I'm going to shade away from 0, 0. So I'm going to shade below. So you see the overlap's going to be this area right here where it's shade above on the first one and below on the second one. So it's going to be right in that area right there, okay? So let's see if I can pull this off here. An line, x-intercept of 3, y-intercept of negative 2. And we're not going to mess with that yet. We'll do the graphing in a moment. Next, we have an x-intercept of 2 and a y-intercept of negative 2. And this one's dashed. And then the shading, the fill, will be right in this region. Okay. All right, let's look at 10. Y is greater than or equal to x squared minus 9. And x minus y is greater than or equal to -3. So let's go ahead and plot. This one's solid. Let's do some points for this x squared minus 9. I'm going to do a table of points, okay? It's going to be a parabola. So for this one, let's do a table. So xy. And I could show you, I'll make up x's. I'll do -1, 0, 1. Okay. Actually, let's do this over here. I'll show you what I could do. What might be easier. So -1 squared minus 9. That's 1 minus 9 is -8. 0 squared minus 9 is -9. 1 squared minus 9 is -8. So our table would be -1, -8, 0, -9, 1, -8. You could plot that into a calculator too if you don't trust yourself. X squared minus 9. Okay, you can go to second graph to look at that, and you could see that -1, 0, 1. You actually could do the inequality part if you wanted to as well. I don't know if you remember that. That's greater than, so you could look at that too if you wanted. Okay, I'm about to prove this here. That's what that inequality would look like. So you'll plot those points. Okay, I'll plot those points in a moment. Let's go to the next one. So to find the x-intercept, make y equal 0. So x minus 0 is greater than or equal to -3. So the x-intercept is equal to -3. Now to find the y-intercept, make x equal 0. So 0 minus y is equal to -3. Divide by -1, divide by -1. The y-intercept is equal to 3. Okay. So on this one, we're going to plot our points. So this one's going to go down to 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So -1, 8, 0, 9, and 1, 8. Now, I know it's going to be shaded in between. I'll prove it to you. So I'm going to pick 0, 0. So is 0 greater than or equal to 0 squared minus 9? Is 0 greater than or equal to -9? I'm going too fast here. This is a solid. Connect with a solid. 0 greater than -9 is true, so that means it's going to be shaded towards 0, 0, which would be inside the parabola there. Now we'll pick 0, 0 for the other one. After I graph it, its x-intercept is -3. So 1, 2, 3. I believe it's going to be where that crosses there. And its y-intercept is going to be 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, and so it's going to go a solid line as well. And make sure I copy this down right. Yeah, they're both solid. Making sure I copied the problem down there, right? So they're both solid. Write that up there. And so I'm going to pick 0, 0. Is 0 minus 0 greater than or equal to 3? Is 0 greater than or equal to 3? It is not. This is false. So I'm going to shade away from 0, 0. So our answer is going to be up in that region. Okay. Okay. Oh, it's greater than -3. -3. I'm sorry. -3. Maybe I should read the problem right. And so if 0 is bigger than -3, so that's true. So I'm going to shade towards here. So it's going to be this region where it's going to, and that's going to touch that. And it's going to be bounded in that region. So I apologize about that. Okay. So I'm going to go to click parabola. I'll pick 0, -9, 1, -8. That one's solid. And then I'm going to pick, the other one has an x. I'm going to do a line. An x-intercept of -3, a y-intercept of 3. And the fill will be in between them. Okay. Now 11. Now we've got multiple constraints here. 2x plus y is less than or equal to 6. X is greater than or equal to -7. Y is less than or equal to 2. Okay. The x and the y part's kind of simple. This is all setting up for tomorrow's or the next lesson, so there's a good application of this. These are all solid, so they're all solid. X-intercept make y equals 0, so 2x equals 6. X-intercept is 3. I didn't even write the y there. To find the y-intercept, make x equals 0, so 2 times 0 plus y equals 6. So the y-intercept is equal to 6. Now, these two are easy to graph, okay? So I'm going to graph this one first. And I wrote that. I need to give myself more room on the positive side here because these are both positive intercepts. I'm going to give myself more room on the positive side. A y-intercept of 6, 4, 5, 6, an x-intercept of 3. Connect the dots here. Now I'm going to pick 0, 0. So 2 times 0 plus 0 is less than or equal to 6. Is 0 less than or equal to 6? That's true, so I shade towards 0, 0. Okay. Now, x is greater than or equal to -7. This is a vertical line at -7. And if it's greater than, it's going to be shaded right. Shaded right. This is a horizontal. Y is a horizontal line at 2. And then if it's less than, shaded below. So vertical line at -7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Solid. It's going to be shaded to the right. And then the last one is y equals 2, horizontal line, shaded below. Did I write that down right? Is it less than? Yes, so it's shaded below. So it's going to be down here in this region here. So it's going to be down in this region. Okay. So we'll look at this. The first one had an x-intercept of 3. That's a line. X-intercept of 3. A y-intercept of 6. Second one is a vertical line, so at -7. And then the third one is a horizontal line at 2. So I'll just pick another point on there. And where's the fill going to be at? Below here. Okay. All right, let's look at another one. Kind of putting, these are called constraints that we talk about. These different inequalities here. X is greater than or equal to 0. Y is greater than or equal to 0. 7x plus 2y is less than or equal to 14. And 4x plus 3y is less than or equal to 12. Okay, so let's look at this. I'll over here. So to find, I'm going to do these two first. They're all solid. So they're all solid. All right, x is greater than 0. That's a vertical line at 0, shaded right, because which way is greater than? This is a horizontal line at 0, shaded above, because it's greater than. Okay, so now on this one, we'll go down this one first. So to find the x-intercept, make y equal 0. So 7x plus 2 times 0 is equal to 14. Divide by 7, divide by 7. The x-intercept is equal to 2. Okay, now to find the y-intercept, make x equal 0. So 7 times 0 plus 2y equals 14. 2 divided by 2, the y-intercept is equal to 7. Okay, so that's this part. Now this one's going to be down here. The x-intercept, make y equal 0. So 4x plus 3 times 0, is that equal to 12? Divide by 4, divide by 4. the x-intercept is equal to 3. Now to find the y-intercept, you make x equal 0. So y-intercept x equals 0, so I'm going to have 4 times 0 plus 3y equal to 12. That goes away, divide by 3, divide by 3. The y-intercept is equal to 4. So now I'm ready to plot those graphs. I'm going to plot those over here. Got plenty of room, and we're not going to be spending too much time on the other quadrants, mostly in the first quadrant. My first one has an x-intercept of 2 and a y-intercept of 7, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so 2 and 7. Now I'm going to pick a point. So I'm going to pick 0, 0 for both. So 7 times 0 plus 2 times 0, is that less than or equal to 14? Is 0 less than or equal to 14? That's true. So I'm going to connect it with a solid line. And then I'm going to shade towards 0, 0. Okay. Now, let's go look at the next one. On the next one, we have an x-intercept of 3 and a y-intercept of 4. So that goes here. X-intercept of 3, y-intercept of 4. Okay. Now we're going to pick a point. So I pick 0, 0. So 4 times 0 plus 3 times 0, is that less than or equal to 12? Is 0 less than or equal to 12? That's true. So I'm going to shade towards 0, 0. So you see this region kind of starting to fill up here. Now x is greater than 0. It's a vertical line, and it's shaded to the right. So you see how there's already this overlapping. And y equals 0 is a vertical line shaded above. So it's going to be right and above, in addition to this already that's filled in. So this right here will be our solution set area. Okay. All right. So let's go graph this. We've got a lot of graphing to do. So let's do the x's 0 solid. Y is greater than 0. We're just doing y equals 0 right now. And the first one, an x-intercept of 2 and a y-intercept of 7. The next one had an x-intercept of 3 and a y-intercept of 4. And where's the fill at? It's going to be in this area. And then tomorrow you're going to be doing, kind of working with the constraints and doing a formula to kind of maximize it. And so that's kind of how that works. All right, 13. The figure shows the help for various regions for people 35 and older. If x is represents the height in inches and weight, y is pounds, the healthy weight can be modeled by the system equation. We got 5.2x minus y is greater than or equal to 182. 4.2x minus y is less than or equal to 142. Okay, those are my healthy regions. And I'm showed that point A is a solution. So point A, which would be approximately, it looks like it's at 62. It's at 62, 130. So now I'm going to plug this into the first inequality. So 62, 130 is point A. So for the first one, 5.2 times 62 minus 130, is that greater than or equal to 182? So let's simplify this. So 5.2 times 62 minus 130 is 192.4. So that's greater than or equal to 130. So that works. So 192.4 is my first solution. All right. Now I'm going to plug it into the second inequality. So second, I've got 4.2 times 62 minus 130. Is that less than or equal to 142? So 4.2 times 62 minus 130 is 130.4. Is that less than or equal to 142? That is. So it'll be 130.4. 130.4. what's the third part going to ask? Point A in the solution of the system equations because both statements are true.